Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. So I talk about a lot of utility grade, enterprise grade tokens on this channel a lot. Even in regards to XRP, we talk about XRP a lot, we talk about HBAR a lot, we talk about a lot of assets. I've talked about XDC a few times, but I haven't really gone in depth on it and really kind of discussed to you guys why I actually do love XDC overall. And if you guys do hold XRP, if you guys do hold HBAR, possibly look into XDC, because I think XDC is a massive giant that's extremely undervalued. Especially, I think a lot of people don't realize the power behind XDC. So obviously, I featured XDC a few times on this channel. Check out the all-time chart. I know that we are basically near the all-time high, but you guys do see that this is extremely cheap right now. It's at like 12 cents, right? And we do know that the all-time high is a little bit above 18 cents. There's 12.3 billion in circulating supply. There's 37.7 billion in total supply, sitting at about a 1.5 billion dollar market cap, 4.6, almost 4.7 fully diluted. So overall, this doesn't look too bad in regards to a market cap to circulating supply and even total supply, because we know that ADA and XRP have similar circulating supplies, or whatever the case may be, right? And look at exactly where their market caps are and stuff. But why would XDC even be worth any price like that? Well, first off, we're seeing a lot of ISO20022 token conversations arise. And we actually see this ISO20022 rollout for general meeting GM. Clearstream Banking informs its user or customers that the implementation of ISO20022 messaging format for all GM messages is scheduled to go live and replace the existing ISO15022 messaging information on the 22nd of November this year. All GM messaging messages will be exclusively based on ISO 222 format. This goes hand in hand with ISO 222 adoption fully within SWIFT and all those payment networks by November of 2022 itself. So when we're talking about this is very interesting. And when we're talking about ISO 222 tokens, you're probably like, well, why does XDC even come into play? Well, first off, we always talk about XRP being ISO 222 compliant. This goes back to June 10th of 2020, so pretty much almost a year ago. This is called shaping the future of cross-border payments as well. They're talking about pretty much replacing the old poor payments messaging system and pretty much marching forward into a global interoperable network where a lot of those global cross-border payment flows will flow over these major tokens like Ripple Nets utilizing XRP, or safer so something like XDC. And we're going to be talking about that, right? But we also see down here, already adopted domestically in 70 countries, it is estimated that 87% of global financial transactions will be supported by ISO 222 by 2023. That goes in hand with what even HBAR's website says, by digital payments by 2023 being worth $6.7 trillion. You can definitely see that. And we're definitely talking about a major adoption system here and marching forward into the modern world of technology through the financial sectors and the future of cross-border payments. Now, let's go to XDC. So XDC is also ISO 222 compliant. Interoperability within the ISO 222 standard and legacy systems. I've talked to you guys a few times about XDC, and this is exactly why I think XDC is incredible. So here's the ISO 222 model. We do see SWIFT here. We see a few other ones as well. So overall, when we're talking about this is going to be the new standard. We are going to be marching into this. This is also going to allow us to adopt digital assets and pretty much march forward into a digital age as well. Now you could, reference these links down here in regards to Swift connector and all that kind of stuff, but I'm more so concerned about XDC's or XinFin's overall ecosystem. So when we're talking about the ecosystem of XinFin, so first off, we always talk about this. All right, this is the Interledger Protocol family and the ISO 222 ecosystem. This goes all the way back to 7/24/2020, so this could be a little bit outdated overall, but it doesn't matter. We see IOTA up there. We also see Ripple. We see R3. We see IBM. We also see Stellar there. We see Corda, which is XinFin as well. We also see Swift. We also see Algorand as well within the USDC network as well. So a lot of these are incredible, okay? I've talked to you guys about XLM. I've talked to you guys about XRP. I've talked to you guys about Algorand as well. Algorand's also incredible. I wouldn't be buying Algorand at the current price though, just my opinion. But we do see a lot of these major assets on this screen right now, and this is exactly how everything will be connected and utilized in a proper way. This is also how the ecosystem will flow and fluctuate or work in a daily basis. This is again going all the way back to when I first started talking about utility grade assets on this channel, talking about the financial sector, talking about marching into a digital age. XDC or XinFin is going to be utilized on a massive scale as well, and that's why I think that it's extremely undervalued at its current level. I don't think a lot of people realize how big R3 Corda is, but let's actually jump into that. So first off, we go back to CordaCon, okay? So CordaCon 2020 ecosystem. This is pretty much the R3 Corda ecosystem on how many partners and connections they have. So we do see some advisory partners up there. We do see Accenture come up a lot, and if we go back to this, we do see Accenture right here. Again, Accenture is also pretty big within even HBAR as well. I think there's a few connections within there, but I do know that Accenture is also connected with a few other assets within the space. But we also see over at financial partners, we see SBI Holdings, which we know is a partner of XRP. But we also see a few other ones, BNY Mellon. We see a few other ones in regards to Citibank. We see NASDAQ. We see HSBC. I mean, there's a lot of major names on this chart, but we also see even some fintech zones. Again, fintech is a massive sector. I think that we could really kind of, a lot of these digital assets really could disrupt that market. But we also see MoneyGram on there, which is a big name. We already know that they were a past partner of XRP. But we also see some builders over here. I mean, these are some big names as well. We've always heard about Lime Chain. We've heard about them a few times within, talking about HBAR as well as a few other assets on this channel. But then we also see the industries that we could pretty much get into in regards to IBM as well. AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. So a few cool names overall, right? But this is a massive ecosystem. This is big names. This is financial partners. These are advisory partners. This is major connections to a lot of the banking systems and as well as to financial sectors. And again, when we talk about SBI, we already know 46 plus banks under their wing. So again, when we go back to this, again, a lot of these assets have similar connections and partners that would all be able to connect through that awesome technology of interoperability. That use case that I've told you guys multiple times is a massive undervalued use case. And again, this goes back to my video from earlier today, right? Talking about XDC or XRP, HBAR, and even QNT. Now, we also see UK banks to test mortgage stablecoins. Again, this is all utilizing R3 Corda as well as XDC. So when we're talking about this, we always talk about some undervalued gems within the space. This technology uses the R3 Corda blockchain as its foundation, which also is being used by Sweden to test its central bank digital currency. Ooh, wow. All right, so when we're talking about XDC, XDC is already partnered with R3, and again, when we talk about this is all going hand in hand with it. I think R3 partnering with XDC is going to allow for a lot more utility cases being brought up within XDC. XDC already has a lot of use cases. If we check out the XDC utility, I've discussed this multiple times on this channel before, but this is a major token in regards to how they're going to be utilized and what's going to actually happen within the space once we do march forward into the ISO20022 token space, being into a utility market. But again, this is a settlement token. So when we're talking about Travala, we're also talking about Excel Trip. We talk about Storks. Talk about my contract, TradeFinex. TradeFinex is actually pretty big. That is actually a P2P sort of trade finance platform, as you guys do see down there. So I've talked about P2P markets and how big that actually is, but this is a financial market, so this could be even bigger. And again, when we look down here, ISO20022 is going to be pretty big. And again, you could read more about these, right? For an example, this is a travel booking service with 2.2 million properties, over 400K activities in 230 countries, and 600 airlines globally. So a lot of these are huge, use cases that are already utilizing XDC. So again, don't disregard what's happening behind closed doors, especially when something is undervalued like XDC. But also, I do want to talk to you guys about this as well. We do see R3 Once Banking's blockchain bet is spinning up a DeFi token. And if we check down here, right, look at this. This has been continued focus of LAB 577, a startup helmed by former NatWest banker Richard Crook, which last year announced the Cordite Society, a cooperative registered in the UK, and its plans to release the XDC crypto token on R3's Corda. So when we're talking about XDC and we talk about what's happening with R3, they have a huge connection to one another. And again, when we're talking about XDC, there's a lot of connections to the banking sector, to DeFi tokens. DeFi is going to be a massive space, as well as once we march into the ISO20022 token space. But we also see even more updates happen to XDC going back to August 18th of 2021. Again, this is that global trade finance distribution. This goes all the way back to that trade finance distribution use case down here, right? Now, in regards to this, we're talking about massive amounts of money flow through here. As a matter of fact, check this out. We welcome XinFin's XDC network to TFD initiative, as this enables us to bridge the $19 trillion trade finance asset class with any type of funder through tokenization and digital assets. And I've talked to you guys about tokenization. I've talked to you guys how massive that is. Now, we do see that there's a huge amount of global financial institutions within this lending service, such as ABN AMRO, Santander Asset Management. Again, Santander's huge. ING Bank, SMBC, ANZ, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Texel Group, NN Investment Partners, and more. So this is actually pretty big. This is $1 trillion as well. We also talk about SME trade finance gap, which is a 3 to $5 trillion trade finance gap. Again, XDC is a huge asset, and it's extremely undervalued. I would say is probably one of the most undervalued assets out there as well. Now, we do see here leveraging the power of cryptographic tokens. The XDC network allows for the digitization, tokenization, and swift settlement of trade transactions, reducing reliance on complex foreign exchanges. Infrastructure, some of the key advantages include lower transaction fees near zero, less energy consumption, efficient confirmation time, double validation, and randomization for security guarantees. Now, we do see that XDC brings new sources of liquidity via our smart contract technology to global trade finance. Joining TFD initiative enables us to work closely with a series of bank and non-bank originators and contribute to closing the SME financing gap. So again, I talked to you guys about SMEs. I've talked to you guys about XRP, basically focusing on that aspect as well. I'm just going to say it right now. A lot of these assets, especially when we talk about, XDC, they could do 2,000 transactions per second. I know it's not as great as HBAR or whatever the case may be, but these are massive utility grade tokens. And when we're talking about fostering into the new age of ISO20022 tokens, XDC is going to play a big role in this. And I think that we are still very undervalued. I understand that we were able to buy this token at a lot cheaper prices, at about less than a fraction of a cent and so forth this year alone. But I'm just saying, it's not too late. A lot of these assets have a lot of potential behind them, and I think that XDC is similar to XRP in a way, like where we could pretty much get to XRP's market cap right now, and also even increase in value still from that level on. So overall, definitely take a look at XDC and definitely look into it, because I think that this is massive in regards to ISO20022 token initiatives, and also the future of fostering into a digital era of payments. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys don't want free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are. This beautiful with this been Nick. Peace out, guys.